Two teams with only 16 hours compete for the coveted Mayhem trophy. Two teams of pile steel and a few parts. Our region's most talented manufacturing technologists battle it out at the Manufacturing Technology Institute.
Let the mayhem begin.
Welcome, viewers, to the second episode of Manufacturing Mayhem. During this show, the teams will attempt to build floating vehicles. We now enter the MTI conference room where Dr. Tim Piazza is outlining the scope of the project to the teams.
For instance, the last group that came through had to do go-karts. Well, it's not, reasonable to ask them to manufacture bearings, so they purchased a couple of bearings. They purchased some step pulleys, things of this nature, okay? But you've only got a very limited budget, obviously, with which to do that. Everything else has to come off the floor, or you have to tell us you need special material. And we'll take it out of your $200 budget and we'll make sure it's in here. 2 people per vehicle. It's got to be people powered. No engines, okay?
It probably goes without saying, but it has to float.
Yeah, it probably goes without saying. Floating is a plus.
The teams have 2 hours in this planning session to get ready for the manufacturing phase of the project. The projects have to be person-powered, operated by 2 people, and compete in a race, a slalom, and a tug-of-war. And of course, most importantly, they must float.
The blue team has spun off into the MTI library. There, they are already starting to talk about a standard flat-bottom boat design with paddle wheel propulsion and a rudder for steering.
I think on the outside, if you got that, and then we'll have some kind of a shaft here, and then we'll have to do just a piece of pipe vertical, and then we'll drop our rudder for directional.
Okay, we're going to have probably a 5-foot long, maybe 2 sections of 5 feet long pieces of steel bent together to form some kind of pontoon shape. We're going to need two pontoons that will be bridged together. We're not exactly sure on the volume that we're going to need in here to support our weights, but we're figuring that.
Team Green is settling in on a pontoon design. They have estimated the length of the vessel to be roughly 10 feet. They plan on using a 2-propeller system to assist in the propulsion of the vessel.
One of the ideas is to have oarlocks here and have some rowing power. Another idea, actually along with this idea, we were thinking of adding sailboat propellers on here, which are a little bit sleeker. You can get a little more power and less drag.
We now go back to the library where Team Blue is attempting to determine the weight of their boat.
If you want, if you so desire, you know that. If you want to play, I'll get you a calculator. I'll get you some stuff. The density of steel is 0.29 pounds per cubic inch. Okay, so you could probably start to estimate what this thing is going to weigh. Of course, once you know what it weighs, then you know, and you've identified who's going to be on this thing, and you get a total weight. Then you can use Archimedes. Anybody remember Archimedes' principle to figure out, how much buoyancy? That's right, the water you displace, exactly. So you're going to be displacing a certain volume of water, and your buoyancy is equal to the weight of the water displaced. So if you can figure out what you need for a buoyancy force, right? You can figure out, that the density of water, H2O, is 62.4 pounds per cubic foot. From there, you can figure out, how much displacement you need. That's right. Right. So.
Now back to Team Green as they are starting to calculate their water displacement and thus their buoyancy force. Thank you, Archimedes.
400 pound of person and 200 pound of equipment.
Okay.
So I have to support that one,
which is about 10 cubic foot displaced.
Yeah.
That sounds very reasonable.
And then each one is 3.14 square feet times the length will be 15.7 cubic feet.
So that leaves you plenty. That leaves you lots of wiggle room.
Yeah.
We are reaching the end of the night, and Green Team is wrapping up and handing in their purchase order.
Okay, team, time's running down. Let's wrap up this purchase order.
Okay,
How you doing?
we are done.
You're done? You're ready to
We
go?
spent over $100.
Okay, we got 10 seconds. 10, 9.
Todd Tranum, the Executive Director of the Manufacturers Association and the Manufacturing Technology Institute, is calling in Blue Team's purchase order.
1.
Okay,
Okay, I need your purchase order.
purchase order.
What you ordered is what we're going to go with. You have a little bit left. Well, you've got $100 left
Yeah,
in your budget.
yes,
So you're
good.
saving a little cash just in case you,
Just in case.
you make some changes here.
I don't think we will
No?
make a change,
You're
but
gonna stick
maybe
with
we
what you have.
can work on detail and make it look nice.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So you're going to put your $100 into aesthetics, is that?
Yeah.
It's going to look, it might not float, but it's going to look pretty. That's what's important, right?
Will they find it in 5 years in the
It's gonna look good on the floor.
Be a nice
And
fish
make
house.
it look nicer when they see it too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Well, sometimes that's all there, just so it looks good. Right?
We are very confident in what we're doing, so we are
Okay.
okay.
All right.
And this is
Very good. When we return, friendships are set aside as the competition heats up.
Engineering is all this. And it all begins here. Jamestown Community College is the premier community college in New York State. And why not? JCC offers a high transfer success rate, great internship programs with local manufacturers, and one of the best engineering faculties around. Choose the affordable engineering education. Started at Jamestown Community College. Engineering careers start here.
The Manufacturers Association of the Jamestown area was founded in 1900 with the mission to promote the common interests of its membership. Today, the Manufacturers Association continues to work hard to strengthen our region's manufacturing base and deliver value to its membership. The association is a proactive leader committed to enhancing the economic strength of the region and is a primary resource of information and assistance promoting manufacturing excellence. The association provides advocacy, human resource services, discussion forums, and roundtables on topics important to manufacturers, and the association is a leader committed to coordinating projects that support manufacturing, such as training initiatives, healthcare cost containment activities, and market expansion programs. The association seeks to reduce costs, helping its membership compete in global markets. For more information regarding the Manufacturers Association, call 716-483-1833 or visit us at maja-ny.com. Now let's meet our teams. Team Blue. Luigi, Tweety, Bert, Isabella, Artone Manufacturing Team Foreman. Larry, Bad to the Bone Benzoni, Jamestown Public Schools Team Welding Technologist. Hannah Steel Woman Snyder, L&A Tool and Die Team Machinist. Arlie, Mr. Friendly Quackenbush, Blackstone Enterprises Team Press Brake Operator. Bob, Mr. Fabrication Greenman, Matco Tools Team Engineer. Ted, Elvis Ellis, Southwestern High School Manufacturing Technology student. Team Green. Rob, Cover It With Chrome Churchill, Custom Chrome Team Foreman. Stu Ultrasonic Merite, Blackstone Nay Ultrasonics Team Engineer. Aaron Super Weld II Pike, Jamestown High School, welding technology student. Keith Uncle MacGyver Kruger, LNA Tool and Die Team Machinist. Sean Super Weld Lamer, Matco Tools Team Welding Technologist. And from 287 BC, visiting here from Sicily, recently exhumed for this special appearance, Archimedes.
So folks, this is the story. You're here for manufacturing mayhem, okay? You've got material, you've got tools, you got everything you need to get this show going, right? You know what the project is. We had 2 hours of plan already. Last time we were together with the planning sessions, we turned in bills of materials. We got a blue bill of material and we got a green bill of material. Blue team, you have officially at this point, out of your $200 budget, you've spent $100.02. Leaves you $99.98 left. You can use in the next 2 days if you so desire. Obviously, it's only something you get locally. Green team, you spent $181.13. All right, leaves you $18.87 left that you can use in the next 2 days. All right, we got everything in that everybody ordered. I have green team's order sheet right here. I have blues. Let's start passing them out. Green team, you ordered some adjustable pitch props. Good thinking. Get some props, right? You can use this to drive your boat. The only problem is these adjustable pitch props, and maybe you should have looked at the catalog a little closer, are 2 inches in diameter. So they're not going to do you a whole lot of good, I'm afraid, okay? But you got them, by God. There's one and there's 2. Okay, we got some helpless sprockets.
Hey, where's that engineering degree?
We've got 20 foot of chain, I believe. There's the chain. We've got some helpless sprockets. There's one. There's the other. Check, make sure I've given you everything that's ordered, please. Permalube steel bearings. We've got 1 Permalube steel bearing from Blue Team. We have 2 more Permalube steel bearings. And we've got, I thought this was an interesting decision, 4 bottles or 4 canisters of marine adhesive sealant. So you're leaving nothing to chance. In case you got a leak or something, you got some RTV. I might mention the thing you failed to order, we can still get you because you got a lot left in your budget, is a gun to apply the RTV. We don't need a gun. We don't need no stinking guns. Gentlemen, you have 4 more bearings also, is that correct?
Yes. Can we return these and get a credit?
We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it. There's your 4 bearings. All right, folks, you now have everything that you've ordered. You've got a little bit of money left in your account for incidentals going forward. Let's get you going.
Yeah, the guys in that group were smart enough to get lots of putty, make sure that all the holes were sealed. It would have been really nice if we'd gotten a gun to put the putty in with, but we'll figure something out even if we got to stand on it too.
Team Green is settling in and reviewing their plans. They're establishing their strategy for today's construction. Team Blue is laying out and measuring their sheet metal, preparing it for the press brake operation.
And we can leave these flat, and when we put our sides on, we can
make an L on them.
We can make an L on those.
Yeah. Or do you want to leave these flat and make those bend?
Well, if we leave these flat, we're gonna have to cut these again, make them sharp. You want to go and cut these again?
And then just shear them off.
Shear them off, yeah.
And then we'll bend these 2 down.
Right. You guys can shear these.
You know, get that other piece.
We can get it.
Yeah.
Team Green has assembled detailed drawings of their complex pontoon design and are reviewing them to ensure that everyone is on the same page.
When you go up, you know that's what this side will be. So 2 of those will make a nose. 2 of this triangle make the end, and then this one piece will sit on the top. And that will close the nose. So these 3 are for the nose.
This is the nose too,
And that's the neck.
and we need 4. Well, we have
Yeah, we need 4 of these.
right, and we're going to connect them together.
There it appears you're working on the hull.
Working on the hull, on the bottom of the hull.
How many sections do you think you're going to have to tack together?
Total there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
10 sections.
10 sections. 20 possibilities of leakage.
Team Blue brainstorms the finer details of the paddle assembly. In this contest, propulsion will be crucial.
Or is it just like a car fan?
So you basically want to enclose each end and then put. Okay, well that's fine except.
Okay.
That's the makeup of it, and that shaft runs in there. So technically, you're going to lose that right there.
Okay, so that's all the space we have.
Something like that? Or we can just
So you're talking about having a circle right there. Like
Yes,
that.
yes.
Another one here, and then fins.
With flaps. But it'll be enclosed so we'll capture the water.
Are you going to have the fins coming from this plate, like straight on that plate?
I was going to put a bend on it.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen. You probably have more little boats than I do.
It looks like welding is going to be key to this whole business. How many linear inches of weld do you think you got here? I mean, you got a big job ahead of you. Linear inches? I would guess. 200. Yeah, 350. It's a lot of welding, and you can't afford any leaks, obviously. Oh, it's leak proof. Is it? Is it? Okay. We guarantee it. Very good. Bring all your money back. Yeah. If it breaks, it has to keep both pieces. Okay, but you think this is going to be a good design? This design's going to work out okay for you folks? Yeah, absolutely. All right, very good. Better than the Titanic. Good to hear that. All right, hold on a second. Tell me about it. Tell me how it's going here. You know, I look at this pontoon, and there's a lot of linear inches. You got a weld here. Right. You're laying a lot of weld. Tell me how it's going and what's happening.
It's
going pretty easy. It just get a little warpage from the heat because I want to flow the metal together. So I got to turn it up a little bit, probably too high, but that's what I want for the seam right.
Okay, but you're getting a little bit of warpage on this thin sheet metal stuff.
Just a little bit.
You're just kind of fighting it a little bit.
Not too bad, a little bit. We're fighting it. Good. I think we're doing good for what we have to work with. Real good.
Sounds good. Looks good. I saw some of your other welds. I mean, they look great.
Right.
You said you got a lot of weld on here, a lot of chance for leaks, but your welds look good, and I'm feeling optimistic about this. Looking forward to seeing it in the water.
Me too.
All right. Yeah. You got everything you need. Everything's going okay.
Yes.
The equipment's working just fine, and everything's cool.
Fine.
Holler if you need anything.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. That's looking like a boat. I'm taking this thing walleye fishing. Yeah. What do you think about Blue Team's boat?
I think they ought to put jets in it and make it a jacuzzi.
Rob and Luigi are already fighting for the coveted Mayhem Award.
After 3 hours, I still got my pants clean, so I don't do much, you know?
Supervising. You're supervising. That's all right. MTI is really unique. MTI is interesting, and it's one of the only places, probably along the entire southern tier, where we could do a show like this. The breadth of equipment that we have here, as well as the breadth of skill sets required to operate all of the equipment, is really pretty unique. And that's one of the interesting aspects of the show, the fact that we can incorporate so many different things. CNC machining, manual machining, press brake operation, sheet metal, welding, all of these is relatively unique, I would say, all along the southern tier. You started with a round design, and now you've gone to this more trapezoidal design. How come?
Well, I'd speak on this. I think to get less surface in the water, you get less drag overall.
Very good. Any other reasons? Castillo, do you want to comment on any reasons? That's very cool.
Another thing is that it's easier.
Fun in the press, that's good, yeah.
Yeah, easier to figure out the angles and profiles.
So when you were calculating volumes and whatnot, the volume submerged in the water, this was an easier way.
Easier way to calculate, you know.
You got less drag, I like that idea. Sounds good. This thing should cut through the water nice. This looks very interesting.
And the bottom is the main for that.
I look very much forward to seeing this thing in the water. It's going to be very cool. All right, very good, gentlemen.
It's logical, we're going to win. It's illogical, is it? Yeah, it's 100% sure we're going to win. Doesn't matter what, at the end we're going to have a lot of fun. And everybody going to be happy, very happy. Because we don't know nobody, we don't know each other, it looks like we are a beautiful group, so I cannot expect more.
We're capping the top of our pontoons right now. We're trying to weld them tight right now for the water. And then we're going to weld one more section to the end of it, and that will be our pontoon.
Through a strong partnership with local industry, Jamestown Community College now offers an associate's degree in welding technology. The Manufacturing Technology Institute and Jamestown Community College have placed a great deal of effort into developing a well-rounded manufacturing technology curriculum and merging together the best of education and technology skill training in the region.
Here, Sean is mentoring Aaron on some of the finer points of welding thin sheet metal.
Gentlemen, you came into this night with kind of a handicap. You're one person short versus the other team, but you seem to rally together and maximize the players you have here in this contest. Tell me a little bit about where you are with your project. You've got an hour left here in this, the second night. And how do you think you're doing? How do you think you're going to be going into tomorrow morning?
I feel comfortable with where we're at right now, leaving and packing up tonight. Things have been going like they should. and we've been one man down too. So we had to scramble there for a second and figure out how to work one of the machines, but all that worked out. So I have a feeling that the blue team's going to be green with envy.
Both teams are pretty confident. Blue team has predicted they're going to win. I mean, they predicted this an hour into tonight's episode. So
wow, they're a little. No, we're coming along pretty well, and I think that our design's going to be key. It looks like they're making a big bathtub. We've got more of a pontoon, sleek boat. So I think we're going to have an advantage as far as drag, and maybe tug of war, we might be a little bit weak, but we have a top secret strategy for that one.
So you're playing for maybe 2 of the 3 events.
So we're playing for the whole thing.
Oh, you're going to run the boards.
Absolutely.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, blue team. You had an interview earlier when you were just starting. Things were fresh. It was just ideas in your head. But now these ideas are taking form. You're out there. You're bending sheet metal. I see you doing a lot of machining. You're doing a lot of welding. Things are coming together. It's actually starting to look like perhaps it might be seaworthy. Tell me what's happening. Tell me where it's going.
We're almost done.
Wow. All right, good.
Half hour.
You're going to come in about noon tomorrow then? Is that what you're saying?
No, we're going to leave at noon. That was the plan.
Okay, very good, very good. Doing a lot of welding. How's it going? Structurally, it looks like it's really coming together.
Good. Going real well.
Yeah? Okay, very good. I see a lot of machining going on. Now, the other team, I don't think I've seen them on a mill or a lathe all night, whereas you've been doing a lot of machining. What are you working on? What is it exactly?
I am working on the outside shafts, and we'll have the propellers, and the inside mechanism that's going to be doing the paddling is going to be 2 pieces connected at the center for paddling, and that's going to be milled notches bent up so that you can use it just in one bar instead of building a bunch of different pieces.
Okay, very good.
So that'll go into the sides.
So a pretty decent level of complexity.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Compact.
Yeah, compact, a little complex.
A little messy when he's
That's right. He's got the oil gun, he's going to town. That's all right. It works. Sounds really interesting. It sounds like it's going to be pretty neat. I can't wait to see this on the water.
That's just about done too.
All right.
I think we should leave it new.
All right. Jim, you're an instructor here at MTI. You teach E&R 127, which is a machinist class, a college credit machinist class. You've got a lot of experience around machines, a lot of experience in manufacturing. You've had an opportunity to walk around the shop, see what the 2 groups are doing, what the blue team is doing, what the green team is doing. Very different designs. I'd like to hear your view on these designs, what you see, what you think. You're going to put your money on it.
I think they're good. I think the paddle boat's going to be able to get through the obstacles better. I don't know what's your other. You got an obstacle course.
Obstacle course is one of the events. The other event is a flat-out race.
Flat-out race.
Third event is a tug of war between the 2.
I think I'd probably put it 2 and 1. I think the blue team with the paddle boat.
Yeah.
I think they're going to probably take the obstacle course.
Yeah.
And because the oars, I think, will get in the way of the other team. And I think they're probably going to take the tug of war because blue team is right. Because I think every time that guy pulls his oars off the paddle, he's going to lose ground. He's going to lose ground. And I know they're going to put a prop on him with a guy with a little crank there, and I just don't think that's going to have enough power to do anything.
So you're thinking blue team taking 2.
Right. But then I think when it comes to the 10-out race, I think the guy with the oars is just going to kick that.
All right. Very good.
I think that's where they're going to end up.
Be interesting to see what happens come race day. Thank you for your time and your opinion.
No problem.
Thanks.
Good luck.
This ends the first night of production. Each team is now committed to the design they've moved forward with, and everything depends upon tomorrow's effort. Welder's Supply has been locally operated since 1946. Welder's Supply is your one-stop source for all welding and cutting requirements. The area's largest stocking distributor, Welder's Supply offers competitive pricing. Welder's Supply has a trained and knowledgeable staff that provides same-day weekly, and on-time deliveries. Welders Supply offers products of the following companies: Praxair, Avesta Polarit, Walters, Thermodynamics, Tweco, ESAB, Victor, Harris, Jackson, and Welders Supply is your local Source One Lincoln electric distributor. If you have a welding need, contact Welders Supply.
Founded in 1919, Cummins was the first North American manufacturer to install diesel engine power in automobiles, trucks, buses, and boats. Today, Cummins Incorporated is a global power leader as a corporation of complementary business units that design, manufacture, distribute, and service electric generation systems, engines, and related technologies. The Jamestown Engine Plant is a world-class manufacturing facility. What does that mean to be world-class? It is a combination of manufacturing technologies, quality systems, and most importantly, people. JEP employees sincerely are interested in the goal of producing the highest quality diesel engine in the world.
Cummins Inc. and MTI are partnering on a pre-hire training program to prepare individuals in the field of manufacturing. For more information, contact MTI at 716-487-9595. Welcome back to Manufacturing Mayhem, as the teams now enter Day 3. What happens on the water during the event will be very much determined by the progress the teams make today.
Everybody's looking bright out and bushy tail. Center, so to support it so there's no twisting torque on it, with a pillow block here, we're going to run 4 legs off of it to the base of the boat. So when we're pedaling, it doesn't want to twist on us.
What we're doing here, Todd, is we're just pressurizing this is one of the 4 chambers, actually 6 chambers that we'll have on our boat. Take a bicycle pump and we fabricated valve system here so we can go ahead and pressurize it. Now in a second you should hear this pop, because as I fill it with air, it's expanding the metal outwards. Also, we're spraying it down by the beads, so that, oh there it goes. We're spraying it on the beads so that we can find any possible leaks. When we spray them down with soapy water, the air is going to be forced out and you'll see bubbles if there is a hole.
So, blue team, you know, you're coming into the last 5 hours of this competition. Things are, I mean, your ship is looking great. You got tons of weld. You're doing a great job out there. Bob, you're also welding out there, right? A little bit.
Yeah,
so we got Larry and Bob out there. We got a couple people welding right now. Hannah, I see something here. Tell me what you brought in to show us.
This is one of the pieces that's going to go to the side. It's got a bearing and a step in it, so it'll be bolts to the side of the boat. And this is where the initial shaft's going to go for the propellers on the side.
Okay, very cool. So that's going to get bolted onto the boat?
No, that's going to be welded onto.
Welded onto the boat. Very good. And the shaft will go through that into the propellers. And what do we got out here? I see someone out there on the brake and on the shear working on these parts. Tell me what we have here, please.
You can explain, because you made.
Come on around. No, come around. Come around.
You should, because you did it too.
Yeah. Gentlemen, tell us about it.
Well, these are the paddles for the drive mechanism.
All right. How's it going to look? How's it going to work?
They're going to have the shaft go through the center, through the holes.
All right.
They have the paddles coming out
off the sides.
Imagine like that.
Yep. Have this for support. Make everything stronger. Weld it together.
Very cool. Very good.
That's it.
Now, how did you determine the length of your paddles to make sure that they're sufficiently in the water? Because as I envision this thing, and you tell me, is this, where's this thing in hand in hand? Is this going to go at the top lip of the boat? Is this going to be through a hole in the side of the boat?
Yeah, because these nanos are made a match, because everything depends when we put the hole in the boat.
Okay.
That one is determined how much we go in the water.
Up and down. Now, it seems to me that's a pretty critical dimension. Where you place that hole in the side of the boat,
Yep.
because if it's too high, your paddles aren't engaged in the water enough. If it's too low, obviously you're going to start taking in water or something through this hole, okay? So that's interesting. If you're going to make an error, if you're going to err on too high or too low, which way are you going to err?
Too low.
Too low, and then you could bail. Worst case, you could have someone bailing water out. If it's too high, duct tape. If it's too high, you're not going anywhere, I imagine.
Right.
Okay, very cool, very interesting. Look.
Tim, do you have any thoughts on the progress of the teams at this point?
Yeah, they're both doing well, but I have to say I'm really fond of Team Green's pontoon design. That looks like it's going to be sturdy enough to be attached to an outboard and go tooling around the lake. I have to say right now I'm favoring them on race day.
Well, Tim, I would have to disagree with your analysis. I think that as long as Team Blue can float, I think going with leg-powered propulsion gives them a definite advantage versus Green's strategy of using oars. Team Green has built a very, very solid machine, but they have to be concerned about their ability to make this vessel move. Team Green, time is running out. How are you feeling? I see you've brought in a couple sections from your craft. Are you going to make it? Are you going to make it under this deadline?
I think I speak for everybody. We need to get through this interview and get out there and start hustling and put this thing together.
Is that a hint?
That is a hint. But no, we should be all right. We've got to assemble the pontoons, we've got to put the power in, and the frame on. So we've got 3 big steps, but we've done some pre-work too, so we've got the stuff ready to roll. We just need to have welders ready to go ahead and spot them on.
Now, Team Green has been short a person throughout this effort, but somehow you found a way to compensate for that and keep the project moving. Could you give us some insight into how you kind of manage this to make sure you can keep this thing on target for the completion time?
We've been fairly organized, so step by step, it's gone along, and we've been prepared for the next step after, we're set. We're ready to roll, basically.
Now, for the slalom, what's your approach going to be with that? Are you putting a rudder or anything in this device, or how are you going to manage the slalom race?
Well, anyone who's rowed a boat before knows that if you got one paddle and you crank on it, the boat should spin right around. But we've got 2 people in the boat, and if we both coordinate our efforts and spin it at the same time, then we should be able to get through the slalom all right.
So you're going to rely on your manpower as opposed to an engineered function to help you through the concept.
Unless you keep the post really tight closed.
Another hint. Okay, there's been a lot of welding, enormous amount of welding in these projects. How are the welders holding up here? You doing okay? All right. It looks like you're doing some really, really wonderful work here. Good job, Team Green.
Some increasing levels of sophistication over here on your boat. Your pontoons have come together, looking kind of like a catamaran. But now I see you've got a screw down here. I see you've got some kind of lever up here. Tell me about it.
Well, the theory is we're going to mount our handle up here on the pillow blocks. We're going to run a chain down from one sprocket to the other, and we're just going to turn the old handle.
Very good. So someone's going to have Popeye arms.
Oh, yeah.
When they're done doing this thing. So you got one individual back here cranking on this propeller, or the impeller here. Then you're going to have someone up front with rowing up front? Right. Is that what that individual?
Well, actually, we're going to have it hooked up so you can row from the front or the back. It'll be kind of your discretion what the best power is. Just in case the
prop doesn't work so good.
Right.
Okay, so you got options here. You got options.
We do have options.
Very good. And then who's going to be doing the steering? If one person's back here cranking, obviously it's...
Front guy is the steerer.
He's the steerer person. That's great, gentlemen. Keep it up.
We are looking in at Team Blue's vessel. Team Blue has spent an enormous amount of time engineering the drivetrain. and they have now installed it and are testing it for the first time.
What do you think? Is it a winner?
It's a floater.
All right.
The drivetrain feeds through the bearings mounted on the side walls and is supported by a machined block in the center of the vessel.
Oh, look at that. Quiet it right down.
At MTI, we use state-of-the-art equipment made possible through partnerships and support of industry as well as equipment manufacturers. These include Accurite, Haas Automation, and Lincoln Electric. These American manufacturers help to ensure our programs have the latest technologies.
Floating devices they put together.
Allegedly, they float. We'll find out on Friday.
I'm really impressed with what the teams did. Two totally different designs.
They couldn't be any more different than each other.
This thing started out looking more like a hot tub. For a while it looked more like a coffin. It does look like a boat. There's some concerns, I think. They've got a lot of areas here where they could have some cracking, maybe some water leakage.
And this design does not lend itself to easy leak testing.
That's true. That's a good point, a good note. They did not leak test this vehicle. Now this, on the other hand,
this is interesting. These pontoons, we've got multiple chambers. Each chamber, they have a little test port. They even machined a nozzle for each test port so they can pump it up and pressurize it and then go around with soap water. So they have leak checked all of their compartments. And that's pretty interesting. I don't think floating's going to be an issue for these folks. I think propulsion will be interesting. It's not going to go in a straight line. It's not so obvious to me how it's going to turn a corner.
So worst case scenario with this, it can at least be an exercise piece of equipment. Maybe they could get a patent on this thing and
be the next Suzanne Summers.
Exactly.
To the fine master. Oh, this is great. Well, this is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for Friday.
Yeah, it sounds like a good time.
We'll see you there.
Founded in 1919, Cummins was the first North American manufacturer to install diesel engine power in automobiles, trucks, buses, and boats. Today, Cummins Incorporated is a global power leader as a corporation of complementary business units that design, manufacture, distribute, and service electric generation systems, engines, and related technologies. The Jamestown Engine Plant is a world-class manufacturing facility. What does that mean to be world-class? It is a combination of manufacturing technologies, quality systems, and most importantly, people. JEP employees sincerely are interested in the goal of producing the highest quality diesel engine in the world.
Cummins Inc. and MTI are partnering on a pre-hire training program to prepare individuals in the field of manufacturing. For more information, contact MTI at 716-487-9595.
This program has been created by the Manufacturing Technology Institute, or MTI. MTI is an educational institution created to serve the local community by providing hands-on technical training. Students who participate in our programs range from high school students exploring career opportunities, to displaced workers, to local professionals learning new skills to apply to their current jobs. The Manufacturing Technology Institute is a partnership between Jamestown Community College and the Manufacturers Association of the Jamestown area, and is dedicated to providing the best regional opportunity for hands-on manufacturing education, giving students the expertise they need to succeed and delivering the high-tech skills that local manufacturing requires. MTI currently offers hands-on training opportunities in 3 different fields. These are welding, machining, and maintenance. Our welding program includes lots of hands-on experience with shielded metal arc welding, gas metal arc welding, and gas tungsten arc welding. We are also working towards rolling out an associate degree in welding technology. With our industry support, this is the kind of degree that will give students tremendous local employment and advancement opportunity, as well as the chance to transfer to partner colleges for a bachelor degree. The machinist program begins with a significant amount of hands-on time on manual machines. Once these are mastered, the student moves on to computer numeric controlled or CNC type machines. Our maintenance program has at its heart courses in electrical systems, mechanical systems, and hydraulic systems, and prepares the student for maintenance in an industrial setting. Students can take individual courses or sign up for some of our larger programs. All of our coursework is designed to provide the hands-on skills necessary to succeed and excel in today's manufacturing workforce. If you have any questions on our educational offerings or would like to visit and tour the Institute, please contact us at 716-487-9595 or stop by. We're located right across the street from JCC.
Now, your famous words the first night were, "We're going to win."
We're going to win.
An hour into the whole planning session.
We will win.
Okay. What do you think, Mr. Churchill? What?
I'm the wrong person to ask because, you know what, I thought Smarty Jones was going to win too. So.
We are now ready for the competition. We are at the boat launch at Celeron Park on beautiful Chautauqua Lake. All of Team Blue's concern regarding the boat's ability to float and fears of taking on large amounts of water were for nothing. Liberal application of marine adhesive paid off, and despite the fact they are taking on water from the paddles, Team Blue is ready to compete. Now let's see how Team Green is doing.
She's not taking any water though. No.
You're getting the camera.
How can we solve this problem right now?
What do you think, gentlemen? Tell me a story.
Yeah.
Good, bad, ugly?
Pretty ugly.
What don't you like?
Well, no, it's all right.
It looks great. You're not taking on water. You're moving. What?
Our oars are a little too long. We had a hacksaw.
Indeed, Sean has found a hacksaw, and Team Green makes some last-minute modifications, and Team Blue has installed cardboard shields to prevent water from the paddles from entering the boat.
Thoughts when you see these things take to the water?
Well, it's a lot of fun. You got a lot of people down here from area businesses and just pleasure and family. Nice day for it. It's a lot of fun.
I think this is going to be a kick. Look at they're seaworthy. They're actually seaworthy.
Very seaworthy.
That's good. Not a single leaking weld in the group.
16 hours?
16 hours.
Can't
That's
beat
it.
that.
6 people, 16 hours. Actually, 5 people on the green team. They did a great job.
It's pretty impressive.
We appreciate
the green team's pretty impressive. I don't know how the race is going to go.
It's going to be a kick. We appreciate all your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. It's race day. The teams are ready to take off.
And they are off, blue and green.
Oh my! There's been a collision on the course.
I wonder if that was on purpose.
But now we know what Team Green's secret technique was going to be. They literally tried to wipe out the competition in the first race.
It looks like Blue's only defense is to pull ahead of them and just get to the finish line.
Green is struggling. Team Blue is way out in the lead. Team Green, you're going off course. Team Green.
looks like they're having a heck of a time getting their ship to move. I mean, their propulsion just is not happening.
Very comfortable finish for Team Blue in this first event.
That looked like me in the canoe last.
Well, Team Blue has indeed taken the first of the 3 competitions, but it would seem during the race they have suffered a weld failure.
Team Blue is pulling their vehicle out of the water. They're going to take it over to a station, have a little bit of welding work done on it. We got a little help here from Busty Calamari, who is a veteran Manufacturing Mayhem participant, has come to today's event, and he's lending in a hand.
Which is really neat to see, most certainly. Now over here we have a portable welder that's been supplied by Jamestown Welder Supply. This is a little 120 volt unit that they're going to plug in right next to the ice shack there, and they're going to fix whatever problems they have.
Ready?
Larry Benzoni uses a portable stick welder to fix the broken pedal on Blue's boat. Now both teams have had to do some on-the-spot modifications in order to complete the competition.
What it is a high-strength tensile strength, 120,000 tensile strength, and you weld dissimilar metals in hard-to-weld applications.
Anything else you want to hit while you're here? You're cool.
If you have something that you're unsure of welding, this is the stuff to use. Yeah.
Team Blue is re-entering the water, and now we're ready to move on to the slalom contest. We have started the slalom race, and Team Blue is the first contestant, and they appear to be off to a very good start.
Yeah, they are indeed. Uh-oh, they're taking the long way around that second to the last buoy. That was going to cost them some time on this one, I'm afraid.
Their cardboard inserts have really paid off in terms of helping keep the water out of their boat.
And Blue is across the finish line in 1 minute and 39 seconds.
Team Green has started the slalom, and Keith is really working that propeller system really hard.
He is indeed, and Rob's putting a lot of muscle into it. He's navigating those buoys really well.
Rob very clearly has some previous rowing experience.
Indeed, and he's putting it to use on this race. And Green's time is 1 minute and 27 seconds. And now we go off to the tug-of-war aspect of the competition. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Gentlemen, you just won Manufacturing Mayhem's second episode, the water sports episode. What are you gonna do now?
Go to sleep.
Go to sleep. Going to Disney. Gentlemen, you've officially won the prize. I bestow it upon you. Off you go. All right, later, gentlemen. Green team,
guys did a great job. The boat's a beautiful boat. In the end, you had some drive troubles, and it looks like that's kind of what everything hinged upon today. Tell me give me your opinions. Give me a debrief on the whole event.
Well, I'd say that the steel oars were a problem. They were a little bit heavy.
Heavy, a little big.
Yeah, and then when we switched to the wooden ones, it worked much better until they broke.
Yeah, you got some blisters there.
Yeah, I got some wounds here to show.
Yes, you do. You got some more wounds.
But
you kept going anyway.
Yeah, we had to keep going.
Always keep going.
But no, it was fun.
Good.
And Blue Team did a good job.
Hey, Team Blue, you were the butt of a lot of jokes. People were calling your boat a hot tub. People were calling it a coffin. But you had a very successful day. How did it happen, Luigi? How did you pull this off?
With this beautiful team, you cannot expect less. So I was confident from the first time.
Okay. You felt very strong. You had a good team. Felt very positive about the direction. You made some very early predictions. I think we were an hour into the planning session, and you were saying we're gonna win. Was it because of your team?
Because I had a good feeling. Good feeling. Yeah, very much. So thank you go to them.
Okay.
Because everyone did a beautiful job.
Great job. Now you had to do some repairs on the run.
Oh, repair.
Larry here, Larry Benzoni, stepped to the plate, did some welding. Seemed to hold up, seemed to carry you through. Any comments, Larry?
No comments.
No comments. Just clean house, right? Anybody else? You folks did a great job. Bob, great job painting. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that.
Dad.
Anna, great job.
Thanks.
I should mention, Hannah is our first female participant in manufacturing Mayhem. Did a wonderful job, machining parts. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the conclusion of another episode of Manufacturing Mayhem. Both teams did a wonderful job throughout this competition. We're really dedicated to putting these projects together and getting them out on the water.
Indeed, they both performed very well, and it's been a great episode. We thank everybody that's been involved, and we thank both teams for being such great sports.
And we thank our viewers and our supporters and everyone who's contributed to making this event happen, including our partner organizations, the Manufacturers Association and Jamestown Community College. Kiss it, Larry.
If you would like to participate in upcoming episodes